And I think Yam can say more about that.
I'm not going to say more about that because the question really was us being shoppers. I think there are at least, for me, there are 4 things that I practice. So that I can be sure that I can shop 100% guilt-free, at least start doing so. First, one of the indicators is that I think I should try to stop buying from those that are certified as sweatshops, those that I know that employ children, those that I know that are not environmentally sustainable. Number 2, I try to buy local. If you buy local, that would ensure you that you're helping local businesses. Third, I research most of the things that I buy before I buy it. We're not just talking about clothes, not just personal hygiene products, but we're also talking about food. So I've actually stopped eating at certified unsustainable food outlets. And fourth, you want to be able to check out those lists prepared by Greenpeace or WWF. They have a list of things that are illegal. So if you're violating the law, then most likely it's not fair trade. So that's the 4th thing. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm a radio DJ and I'm in media, so I think what Joaquin said kind of encapsulated what we're all here. We are all really learning, and I remember when Tony asked me to join this campaign, I had so many questions because, like the masses, you know, it's a new thing here in the Philippines. So as a radio personality, I think I'm going to do my job to spread more information, create awareness, and kind of help usher people as we go along, as we do these baby steps to help them make the right choices, to make the choice between product A and product B and make sure that they pick the fair trade one.
Thank you. Personally, I patronize these products just like what I mentioned earlier, Human Nature, Rags to Riches, Messy Bessie. There's actually quite a lot of products, and as the Executive Director of the Miss Earth Foundation, it is my responsibility to organize activities for the candidates and eventually as winners. So for this year, for the candidates of Miss Philippines Earth 2011, I actually partnered with WFTO Asia for a seminar because a lot of them, when Tony asked them, so how many of you know about fair trade? And only 2 girls raised their hands. One is from the US and one is from UK. So it was very evident that a lot of Filipinos really do not know about fair trade yet, so it starts there. And also we have a current project which with Human Nature entitled Compassion, which aims to raise funds for a community in Davao simply by purchasing the organic lipsticks that are now available. Thank you.
Well, for me personally, the moment Tony gave me the invitation, the first thing I did was go online and I researched about WFTO. And interesting because you will find a lot of the products, so it's very transparent. You will know where they come from. And I think that's even better because when you find the stories of the people behind each product, it becomes a personal decision. So it's not only choosing, you know, one from the other. You realize that there is actually a child who will be affected by your decision, or there will be a family, may tatay, may nanay na maaapekto ng decision mo. So when you get personal to these lives, it becomes, you know, these little things like just picking which pair of shoes or what type of shampoo. You don't think about, you know, the price anymore. You think about the quality of lifestyle that you'd like to contribute to. So I think it starts there, just getting yourself informed, getting yourself attached. Because I think when you see all the statistics, the tendency for us is to get detached, and you just seem to see another awareness campaign. It's just another, you know, event that we have to attend, and it doesn't become personal. So for all of us here, I think that's why it moved us, is because we know that a lot of people are affected by it. So there.
Yes, and one last question for everybody.
Okay. Hi, I'm Anton. I'm also a blogger for pusangkalye.net. Follow-up question. I could see here that a lot of the enterprises are basically small and medium enterprises, and I'm also excited to share the news to my readers. But Jeremy a while ago mentioned about the mainstream companies. Are we saying that mainstream companies are, you know, not allowed to join this cause? Because I think, you know, it doesn't mean to say, not because you're mainstream doesn't mean to say that you're not practicing fair trade, right? Thank you.
answer that on behalf of them. Basically, the goal of WFTO Asia is never to demonize any brands. When I say that, is that we don't say that brand is bad, that brand is not good. What we're trying to do in the long term, in the long run, is really for all the brands, for all the organizations, for all companies to become fair trade. Because the ultimate goal of WFTO as an organization is a fair trade economy. Because that would be better, right? If all companies started practicing fair trade, then nobody will be exploited, nobody will be poor anymore, nobody will be discriminated, nobody will be ignorant. So that's really that's where we're coming from. And I'm very fortunate because these people that you see right here, after this event, this will not be the end. They are not just the faces of our campaign. When I asked them to do the campaign, I specifically told them that I want for us to collaborate on a project. So each one of them will be having a project with WFTO Asia this year. And we will customize it depending on what they're interested in. Like for example, Patty and Wacky, even before the launch of the exhibit, we were already communicating on what particular projects we want to do. Also for Ms. Cathy Untalan. And a few minutes ago, I just received a text from Sonia Smith. She couldn't make it today, but she was like texting me that a mainstream brand, a mainstream clothing brand, who has reports of sourcing some of their products from sweatshops, invited her to model in one of their shows, and what she did was she rejected it. I mean, it's not really a big thing if you're gonna think about it, but something as small as that, like small changes, can ultimately stir up a bigger change. And that's really the goal of the 100% guilt-free shopper, is for us to have 1 million ambassadors by the end of the year. So these people right here are the first 16 or first 14 people who are starting the campaign. All right. So by the way, before we wrap up this particular portion, our photographers are carrying this. It's the I am 100% guilt-free sign. Our goal is for us to have 1 million photos that will signify the 1 million switchers for Asia. And since you are in this event, in a way you are supporting and switching to fair trade. So please, if our photographers approach you later, do have your pictures taken. We'll be uploading this in our Facebook account so you can see. And at the end of the year, we'll be mounting a huge wall of all the 1 million switchers that we took all over Asia. So that's the idea. Anybody here has questions for our ambassadors? All right.
Thank you. Hi, I'm also volunteering with Greenpeace. I have a question about the environment. How does the label combine being environmentally conscious and importing products from other countries? I mean, you can have fair trade products, but if you fly them in from China or from other countries, you leave huge impact on the environment. So how does the label combine these two things?
Okay, I'll answer that. One important thing about fair trade is the traceability of it. We should be able to know where it came from. So it's very important for us, when we certify an organization, we have to make sure that it's really 100%, meaning everything is sourced from sources that are fair trade. And as much as possible, the good thing about fair trade is we try to source our raw materials from sources that are environmentally sound. So as much as possible, we try to not use plastics. We try to recycle. We try to all of those things like Ms. Mona right here. We have so many organizations where we try to recycle garbage and we turn it into something really nice, like bags and stuff. So in terms of your questions of fair trade becoming environmentally sound, yes, we are very particular on that. It's one of our principles, and we want to make sure that all of these 10 principles are equally being championed and addressed.
Thank you. Does anybody have any more questions? Okay, we'd like to ask everybody for a photo op. We'd like to call Ms. Ramona to join us. And Ms. Kat De Vera.